Which is saying a lot.
Which apparently says something. I don't know.
Speaking of Texas wide receivers,
Hey, here we go.
this is going to be a fun conversation.
Adonai Mitchell, Texas wide receiver, 6'2" 1/4", 205 pounds, 9-inch hands, 32 3/8-inch arms, 77 5/8-inch wingspan. He's 21. He'll be 22 in October. Day before you, Rich. Well,
Birthday buddies.
4.34 in the 40, a 1.52 in the 10-yard split, 136-inch broad jump.
Holy! That's 11 feet 4 inches, people.
39-inch vertical.
Dude, that's gross.
That is gross.
He crushed the combine.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Dude, 11 feet 4 inches. Just standing there.
Is that the combine record or no?
I knew it was close. I don't know if it was the combine record or not. That's a good question.
Anyway, in 14 games last year, he had 55 receptions, 845 yards receiving, 11 touchdowns, 2 rushing attempts for 1 yard. And we mentioned a pretty bad quarterback throwing him.
Yeah. I'm glad that Garrett's going first.
I was going to ask if it wasn't, but when I saw he was second, I was like, we're good.
Because, boy, he's going to give you a lot of pros, and I'm going to give you a lot of cons.
All right, so here's the thing with Adonai Mitchell. He ended up getting a really good score for me.
Ditto, by the way.
Me too.
And with Jared as well. So 3 very high scores. And clearly on Nerd Score alone, clearly my wide receiver 4. Clearly.
Yep.
I am terrified of it, though. I am petrified of my score.
As you should be.
But it's all based on the tape. So here's the thing.
Which plays?
We don't account for effort in the nerd school.
We don't. Yeah, there's not an effort column.
And there's not a consistency column.
There was not a consistency column.
His consistability score, which you should have a
His quarterback
score.
consistently sucked.
That is consistent.
This has nothing to do with his quarterback.
No, this is consistability, is what Rich said.
Damn words.
Look, when I watched his tape, I was expecting solely just I'm big and I'm fast. Like, that's what I was expecting to see. And both of those things are true. He is big and he is fast. And those combine numbers look very legitimate when you watch his tape.
No doubt.
It is not one of those things, because sometimes you watch guys on tape versus the combine and you're like, those things do not match up. Why don't they match up? Here, they match up beautifully. He looks like a dominant force at times.
True.
Good release. Surprisingly good route runner, where he can actually sink his hips pretty well.
Most of the time.
We're getting there. I really didn't see any drops overall hands-wise.
I want to see. Hold on. Let's see what PFF.
Like a DB might have broken up a pass here.
PFF credited him with 1 drop.
Okay.
I thought he had good hands.
Fantastic.
And he's a hands catcher, too.
Yes, he
no doubt.
plucked the ball. Mm-hmm. He attacked the ball.
He's a diamond catcher.
Yes, fantastic hands. Did pretty well in contested catch situations.
I'm like a Ruby catcher,
obviously, good catch radius with his size. Something that I thought he did better than anyone else in this class, and honestly, maybe better than we've seen in the past few classes. And I even did a little short on it. Ball tracking. Fantastic at tracking. He plays the wide receiver position at times like a center fielder plays baseball. Like, his ability to be able to find the football and put his body in the right spot every time to be able to catch it, whether it's a deep, lofty pass, whether it's one of those ones that's in the corner of the end zone and needs to adjust. Yep. Like, he always puts his body in the right place to catch the football, and he does it consistently. And so I loved seeing that. I think he was decent, not great, but I think he was decent after the catch. Obviously, good game speed, quicker than you would expect for a big guy. Like, there were so many things on tape that I really, really liked. The problem came in when you would watch one play and he would do everything perfect. And you were like, wow, that is an NFL wide receiver 1. And then you would watch the next play and you're like, he did nothing perfect on this one.
He looked disinterested.
He did. He looked like he didn't care. He was jogging, sometimes just standing.
Sometimes not even he's looking for a hot dog in the stands.
Like it's
I swear to God, there was one play I was like, is he looking for a hot dog in the stands?
Ooh, fifth row hot dog.
There's two plays I literally was like, wow, he probably could have been flagged for like a false start because he was like,
which is wild because receivers are just supposed to look at the ball. Like you're not listening for snap count.
there was one snap I felt like he was startled by the snap, like, oh goodness.
He for sure was.
I think I saw that.
He for sure was.
So here's the thing. What it boils down to for me, and Rich, I'll let you get to it. And I know
keep building them up.
and I know Matt and Jared echo a lot of the same things from talking with them. He has all of the tools and the ability to truly be an elite wide receiver. And that's why I love having him as my wide receiver 4. And then I am absolutely pooping my pants that he's my wide receiver 4 because this could crumble and fall just as quickly. And so I don't know what to do. I truly don't know what to do.
I mean, could this guy be like a Josh Gordon? Like if
Yeah.
everything was right?
Yes.
That's,
Could be.
That's
Like-
how,
Yes.
I see that much upside with this dude.
He could also be Matavius Bryant.
Yeah.
He could also be like
Yeah.
Like we're talking probably like pick 110 to like 2-3 though, which
probably
a guy like this, that's
you're willing to take a little more risk there.
Yeah.
But I usually don't like taking on like all risk. Like after about like 2-5, like middle of the second round or so, I'm all upside.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I'm like, I don't care about the floor anymore. Here I still care a little bit, but it's not the same as if I'm picking 1-3 or something like that.
Listen,
we're listening.
he's in my third tier, and I agree 100%. Like, and if you're at the back of the first to try and get a guy like this, like, I understand that upside, it screams at you like, oh, I get the best receiver possible in this draft, potentially. But
He could be the best.
Like you mentioned, his body control, excellent. Hands, excellent. Yards after catch, pretty solid. So fluid for his
Did you guys
size.
see the catch in the end zone, Washington?
Yes.
He makes some nasty
When
catches.
he seemed like he was up in the air for about 5 seconds, 10 seconds. I don't know. It seemed
He's
like forever.
so explosive.
It was insane.
He gets off the line really well. Like,
I need to go watch Georgia tape.
but
Like, hey, do you guys remember the
Sorry,
video of Jordan dunking from the
interrupted
free
you.
throw line?
Yeah.
Where you're just like, how the hell did your body just do that?
you're not gonna believe this, but they put that logo on a shoe.
Huh?
When Jordan dunked from the free throw line, they
yeah.
put that logo on a shoe.
Like,
They're called the Jordans.
get out of here.
Never gonna
What?
believe it. Yeah,
Get out of here.
it's a logo called the Jumpman for some reason. Yeah.
Wow.
School up north wears them.
But do you actually remember the play when he did it?
Oh, yeah.
No, I just remember the
The
shoes.
dunk contest.
That's what I'm trying to compare this to, Rich.
I'm old, man. I'm old.
Not a pair of sneakers.
So, but you mentioned when you're scared of him, boy, is there a lot to be scared of. I mean, I came away with my notes like, I don't know if like he's just disinterested or if like his football acumen isn't like as sharp as others. Like he's just out there to play loose. Right?
Who was the guy from Illinois that was a quarterback?
Isaiah Williams.
Isaiah Williams, same thing. Like at times, the guys, he didn't even know that the play was about to happen. And you're like, what the hell is going on? And I didn't know if the guy was just not paying attention. I didn't know if he was telling other people what to do. Same thing. Like this guy is like somewhat aloof at times. Like he doesn't realize he's on a football field playing football. Like what the hell is going on?
I mean, if the ball wasn't coming to him,
Oh,
like he was. Like I'm telling you, like it was like he was looking for hot dogs in the stands. I know it sounds like I'm exaggerating,
listen,
Go watch the
but
tape.
watch the tape.
there's a pet peeve of mine, and I hate it when guys take plays off. It's happening more and more often. I've become more lenient about it. So no big deal, right? You know, like the college.
Xavier Worthy did a little bit too.
Sure.
It seems to be a little bit of a Texas.
And
seems
Xavier
to be-
Worthy did a little bit of that too.
Just more of a theme coming out. Like they're running so many plays. These guys are going up and down the field so much. They're naturally going to have to take some breathers, some plays off, so to speak. But this guy will take a play off, and then the freaking ball comes to him, and he's
know.
like, "What the? Oh God, the ball!" Oh,
Well,
shit.
you almost wonder, like, is that him or is that like the quarterback of like?
I don't know. Are they just not on the same page? Is he like trying to teach him a lesson to
it's
quit
tough to know.
aloof? Like quit being so aloof out there? Like I'm going to throw you the ball. Like you're open, dude.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Especially in like the biggest moments too. Like
It's so weird. It was.
they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It was like I
Playoffs.
just
Like
didn't know
they
what to.
suck.
I just didn't know what to make of it.
It happened in the playoff. Yeah, I mean, so if you look at his numbers, they're gonna be very roller coaster, right? He only has 3 games over 80 yards out of 32 games he's played in his career. 3.
Yeah.
And
part of that was playing at Georgia. Same thing with Lad McConkey.
for sure.
And,
I get it. Like, I'm just saying, I'm giving context to this. And, his biggest games stat-wise were versus Kansas and Oklahoma State. Those were his biggest games. He had like
Oklahoma State was the Big 12 game.
Yeah, which
Oklahoma
Big 12
State,
championship game.
Oklahoma State,
8 catches for like 130 yards.
Kansas
and
State
touchdown.
and Kansas.
Kansas State and Kansas were the 3 biggest games. I would argue his best game to watch would be the Alabama game.
3 for 78.
And that's all he did.
2 touchdowns.
But he was into that game, and you're right, 2 touchdowns. And he actually played versus a first-round tight cornerback in Kool-Aid McKinstry. And
He was a stud.
I thought was the best play he made out of all the tape I saw. I know you like that big end zone catch, but like there was a play to the sideline, and he worked Kool-Aid just slightly inside and then broke to the sideline real quick and caught the ball away from his body in for the first down. I thought it was a beautiful play. I had to watch it 3 times. I thought it was really pretty by Adonai. At the same time, so I thought this was his cleanest, most effort game. And that being said, it also showed I kind of came away with a little bit of wow, a really good defensive back like Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yeah.
For how big he is, a cornerback could still kind of break him up with the ball. They could, there's one where he had a ball in his hands, and it wasn't a drop necessarily because Kool-Aid came from the side and hit him hard, but he dropped the ball afterwards. He didn't hold on to the ball. And there was another play where Kool-Aid was able to get physical with him onto him, and he wasn't able to come down with the ball. Not a drop, but he wasn't able to come down with the football. So it shows that even though he's a really big guy,
It can be affected. Anyone.
he could be affected.
anyone can with the proper defensive play.
I like his route running. I do. I think he tightened his routes up a little bit, but he's still young. So I have that's not a knock to him whatsoever. He's definitely good enough.
By no means a finished product. Anyone.
What's going on in between the ears is important. It really is at a very high level. And I honestly,
that's the one thing that we'll never know.
And I have no idea
which sucks.
what is going on with this guy, but I will tell you it's a huge concern for me for what I saw on tape. I've honestly never seen a receiver this good act like that on film. Ever.
I agree.
Ever. So clearly disinterested in what's going on. Please just go watch the tape because it's almost comical at times. When I'm saying he looks startled by the ball being snapped, oh goodness gracious, I better get going. Cue the hillbilly music, whatever it's called, whatever
the Benny Hill music.
Yeah, the Benny Hill music. It's oh my, everybody else is moving, and you look over in shock, and they're I better get going too. That kind of disinterest. So.
And he genuinely, I think, did not know the ball was coming to him a few times that they were.
It still made a play.
Yeah, of course.
Adonai Mitchell screams.
Because he's got all the skills.
Screams upside. And he's in my 3rd tier. But for me right now, I cannot take him ahead of Lad McConkey.
So is he your 3rd tier? If there's no chance that you would take him over those other guys.
I mean, dude, but he's gonna get some really good draft capital probably.
And that's one of the things
I want to see where he gets drafted.
This is one of the biggest ones
him
of all of them.
Him and Josh Allen, if he goes to the Bills.
Oh my gosh.
If he goes to the Bills, listen, that might be ice, it might be water, but I'm jumping in. Either I'm going to have a nice splash on the tuchus, or man, I'm having a sore tuchus.
That's going to hurt.
Dynasty Zoltan tweeted out that according to Vegas, Adonai Mitchell has an 86% chance to be drafted in the 1st round.
And if he's a 1st-round pick, and especially to any sort of decent landing spot, which I would expect him to be in the last 10 to 12 picks.
Which is going to be a good spot.
Which will be pretty good offenses typically.
Who do they have down there in Dallas?
CeeDee Lamb.
Besides
CeeDee. They had Brandon Cooks. I don't know if they might have another year of Brandon Cooks, but yeah, he could easily go there. Yeah. He could easily. There's plenty of place. Everyone could use a guy of that size.
Everybody can use.
Everyone could use.
Dude, he could easily be a number 1 for an offense.
Easily.
We talk about body control being so important. That dude's got.
He has it.
So I'm talking right now on tape. I would 100% take Lad McConkey ahead of him, but he's still in that tier because after the NFL draft, it probably wouldn't be 100%. I'd probably be mixing it up.
And you'd agree Adonai Mitchell's ceiling's much higher than Lad's.
Yeah, and so is Brian Thomas. I said the same thing about Brian Thomas.
It's Marvin Harrison Jr. level.
Yeah, Brian Thomas. he's not on the same level as these guys.
No, I have Brian Thomas in a different tier than Adonai Mitchell and Ladd McConkey.
You have him in your tier 3 too?
Yeah, I have Brian Thomas in my tier 3 too.
You said,
Which, by the way, real quick, Jared.
What's up?
Last week, you let these two berate me about Brian Thomas and Tez Walker, which is fair or not.
Fair.
I realize I have Brian Thomas ahead of you in nerd score
Yeah.
by like 2 whole points. You never came to my defense.
Well, I'm confused.
What is he, Kevin Costner? And you're
I thought we were like best
Whitney.
friends.
Whitney?
I knew what you were talking about, bodyguard.
I'm not high on Thomas.
I know. They were talking about how they like Thomas a lot. I was saying, I don't think he's
I
very
think
good.
you're- I think you were-
whoa. We were talking upside, and you said,
Yeah.
he doesn't have any.
yeah, you said he didn't have
No,
it.
all I'm saying is, I didn't say he didn't have any. I said
You
he has
did.
plenty.
Play
I said he
the
has
tape.
plenty. I said,
You said
I
he's
base
stiff,
it
he
on
got
what
no
we
way
have
that
right
he's-
now.
I think your words were interpreted as more harsh than what your score says.
Maybe. Yeah, because I was 2 full points higher than you.
And I think I was only like a point above you.
Yeah. All I was saying was what was on tape right now. I had to base it on right now, not what
Quit
could be.
crying, saddlebags.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's all I'm
pussyfoot.
saying. Look, you were the one pussyfooting. You did not. come
Well,
to
what
my
do you
defense.
think about Adonai? Jared?
I like him quite a bit, dude. I mean,
I'm in love with the Mitchell.
he and Rome have almost the same exact score. Actually, Adonai's score is slightly higher than Rome for me.
What?
Yeah, I mean, when he flashes and Rome flashes, I think
Can we
Adonai
drug
looks
test the
better.
Dynasty Nerds?
And
We'll have to call PR. Or not PR.
when
HR.
Rome
one of the R's.
and Adonai flash at their highest moments, their best moments, I think Adonai looks better.
I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that.
I got.
Although
I have Rome like
However-
this far ahead.
I have a dude.
It's like
I think Rome is
0.2
a safer
points.
pick, and if I were to have to choose between one of them, I would pick Rome. We'll see how the draft shakes out. But
Hey,
yeah,
newsflash, Rome's going top 10 and Adonai's not.
we'll see.
Here, shake that and bake it.
No one knows anything.
I know everything. I got crystal balls in my pants.
Listen,
you haven't busted those out in a while.
It has been a long
you want to
time.
know what I think?
Some
They may be
balls.
dusty
Or
balls. Yeah, I do. So,
All
I
right.
can, so I can disagree.
I got him at a 77.8. He's a damn good receiver.
I have a 77.9.
If he ever wakes up.
77.68.
Yep.
So we're almost identical.
These are the highest scores of upside. Like, I understand you don't put effort in there, so if you did do effort, like it would definitely drop
yeah,
the
you
score
would
down.
get a 1.
Dude,
Yeah, so drop a score
and we
down
talked
for
about this earlier. This is his top end. This is what he could be score. If I could do this on any one player, I would want to have a floor score,
Right.
And a ceiling score.
I
floor
agree.
score, ceiling score, because he could be a 60.2 if it was a floor score.
But honestly, like a ceiling score, like I have him at a 77. Ceiling score might be an 85. Like
It honestly could be.
there
could-
are times where he does things truly at an elite
I
level.
was not joking around. Josh Gordon type of, he could be a dominant force. He could be the number one.
And I think
guy.
people forget how good Josh Gordon was. He was the number 1 overall dynasty pick.
Do you guys think the
After
4-3
2012.
translates to the field though? Because I thought, I mean, just
I
to
do.
pick some cons out, I just think I didn't think he looked 4-3 fast on the field. Like,
I think I could see that because of him being taller and the longer strides. But when you saw him against DBs, I thought he was regularly
he was pulling away.
beating, like pulling away. Yeah, beating
was pulling away.
DBs. So while like the movement itself didn't necessarily look like it, I think it was because of like how long his strides are as a taller receiver.
I'm AD Mitchell, man. I'm excited to see where this guy. Like
He'll be a fun one.
yeah,
he's
he's
a-
like a story that I'm following.
he's gonna shake up that draft class. So you take Brooks and you Benson all of a sudden, and you're sitting here at
And that's
112. You just won the ship in your league,
And
you're
that's
like,
when we're trying to flush this all out and figure out who we're stacking where. Like that's going to be the most interesting part. Guys like Adonai Mitchell, what kind of wrench does he throw in this whole thing? Where does Xavier Worthy go? What kind of draft capital does he go with that speed? What team does he land on? What quarterback does he
Getting all
end
hot
up
and bothered
with?
over
this
here.
NFL because like I said, I have this third tier. It's already full of 4 guys. Like
Without doing
Where does Jonathan
Show
Brooks?
5 and 6.
Where does he get drafted with that knee injury? But what team wants him?
how soon does he
How
get on the
early?
field.
Oh my god!
we got more guys.
There's a lot of narratives.
How far does Drake May fall?
I thought like, and it's funny you said that too because I was like, man, I really like these guys. Like, there's so much variance here with like upside skill sets, like which way you want to chase. I'm like, man, I really need to NFL. Like, I'm gonna have obviously I'll do my pre-draft rankings and have those out there, but I'm gonna tell you right now, for most times, like some of these guys are so close. The NFL draft needs to split those hairs and opportunity and position because it does matter. It 100% matters.
Oh yeah.
And again, this is a class like we said it's almost like the 23 we talked about. Like you want second round picks. Like you really want high end second round picks right now. Like this is the perfect class. Like if you're a contender, to start offering your first next year for like high seconds. Like start doing, hey, I'll give you 311 and my 25 first, and you give me 2-2. I feel really good about that.
You're getting,
really good.
You're getting a high end type of guy.
Not to mention, if one of these quarterbacks that we don't think is going to go in the first does, and Penix or Nix or,
and that's something we haven't talked. We talked about when we did a quarterback class. What happens if like Bo Nix and Michael Penix go like Bo Nix goes like 2-2 and Michael Penix goes like 132? You're like,
I mean, guys that are.
I'm still taking the running backs.
Denver in the second round is going to need a guy. You know
the
what
Raiders
I mean?
in the second round.
Raiders.
the Giants could pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's guys that need guys at quarterback still. They're gonna, and we haven't even talked tight end yet. We're talking premium leagues. Like it's gonna be
It's going to be a fun draft. I can't wait.